You know, there's something I've noticed when talking to friends and family over 60, many of them have taken a fall at some point, and often it happens when they least expect it. Maybe you've had that moment yourself, when you're just walking across the room and suddenly your foot catches or your shoe slips and down you go. It's scary, isn't it? And what's even scarier is that sometimes the shoes we wear every day, the ones we think are comfortable and safe, might actually be putting us at greater risk. That's why today, we're going to talk about something that doesn't get enough attention, the shoes we wear and how they can triple our risk of falling. Yes, you heard that right, triple. And the worst part? Many older adults wear these dangerous shoes daily without realizing the risk. But don't worry, by the end of this video, you'll know exactly which shoes to avoid and what to look for instead so you can stay steady on your feet. Now, let's start with the first type of shoe that might surprise you. 1. Slippers, the cozy culprit. Slippers. They're soft, they're easy to slip on, and they feel like walking on clouds. What could possibly be wrong with that? Well, as it turns out, a lot. Most traditional slippers have little to no grip on the bottom, especially if they've been worn for a while. That smooth, worn-out sole might as well be an ice skater's dream, because one wrong step on a hardwood or tile floor, and you could be in for a nasty fall. And here's the thing, it's not just about the lack of traction. Many slippers are too loose or don't provide proper support, which means your foot isn't stable inside them. You might not notice it at first, but over time, that instability can throw off your balance just enough to make a stumble more likely. So, what's the alternative? Look for slippers with a rubberized, non-slip sole and a snug, but not tight, fit. Some even come with adjustable straps or memory foam for extra support. Your feet and your hips will thank you. 2. Flip-flops, the summer hazard. Now, I know what you're thinking, flip-flops. Really? They're just for the beach or running quick errands in the summer, right? Well, yes, but here's the problem, flip-flops offer zero support. Your toes have to grip constantly to keep them on, which changes the way you walk. That extra effort can lead to shuffling, tripping, or even straining your feet and ankles. And let's talk about that thin, flimsy sole. It doesn't cushion your steps, which means more impact on your joints. Plus, if they get wet, suddenly, you're walking on a slippery surface just waiting to slide out from under you. If you love the ease of slip-on shoes, try a pair of sandals with a backstrap and a sturdy sole. They'll give you the same convenience without the danger. 3. High heels, even the low ones. Now, I know most folks over 60 aren't strutting around in stilettos, but even small heels, think 1 or 2 inches, can be trouble. Why? Because they tilt your weight forward, putting extra pressure on the balls of your feet and throwing off your center of gravity. That slight shift might not seem like much, but as we age, our balance isn't what it used to be, and that tiny tilt can make a big difference. And let's not forget, heels, no matter how low, often have narrow or slippery soles. One uneven sidewalk crack or loose rug, and suddenly, you're fighting to stay upright. If you still want a little lift, opt for wedges or shoes with a wide, stable heel no more than an inch high. Better yet, go for flats with good arch support. Your feet and your safety will be much happier. Now, before we move on to the next few risky shoes, I want you to take a quick look at your own footwear. Do you see any of these in your closet? If so, it might be time for a little upgrade. Because here's the truth, staying active and independent as we get older starts with the foundation, literally. And that foundation is what's on your feet. So, let's keep going. Next up, we'll talk about another common shoe that might be hiding in plain sight, putting you at risk without you even realizing it. You might be surprised by some of the shoes we've already covered. Who would have thought that comfy slippers or simple flip-flops could be such a hazard? But the truth is, many of us wear shoes out of habit, not realizing how much they affect our balance and safety. And that brings us to the next few culprits, some of which might be sitting in your closet right now. 4. Worn-out sneakers, the deceptive danger. Now, sneakers are usually a great choice for support and stability if they are in good shape. But here's the problem, we often wear our favorite pair long past their prime. Those trusty old sneakers might feel like an old friend, but if the soles are smooth, the cushioning is flattened, or the sides are collapsing inward, they're doing more harm than good. Think about it. When the tread wears down, you lose grip. When the cushioning goes flat, your joints take more impact with every step. And if the shoe doesn't hold your foot firmly in place, that's a recipe for instability. So, how do you know when it's time to retire them? A good rule of thumb: if the soles look smooth or uneven, or if you can feel every pebble on the sidewalk, it's time for a new pair. Look for sneakers with good arch support, a non-slip tread, and a firm heel counter. That's the back part that keeps your foot steady. And don't wait too long to replace them. Your balance is worth the investment. 5. Clogs and backless shoes, the slide-off risk. Clogs and slip-on mules are popular because they're easy to kick on and off. No bending, no laces, no fuss. But that convenience comes at a cost. Because they don't have a backstrap or secure fit, your foot has to work harder to keep them in place. That means you might subconsciously shorten your stride or shuffle to avoid losing the shoe, which can throw off your natural gait and increase the risk of tripping. And here's another issue: since they're not snug around the heel, they can slide off unexpectedly, especially if your feet swell during the day. One wrong step, and suddenly, you're trying to catch yourself mid-fall. If you love the ease of slip-ons, opt for styles with a backstrap or a snugger fit around the heel. There are plenty of stylish, supportive options that won't sacrifice safety for convenience. 6. Shoes with smooth leather soles, the slippery surprise. Dress shoes, like loafers or Oxfords, often have smooth leather soles, which might look sharp but can be dangerously slick, especially on hardwood, tile, or wet surfaces. Even if they've got a little traction when they're new, that grip wears down fast, turning them into a slipping hazard. And let's be honest, how many of us wear dress shoes only for special occasions, meaning they sit in the closet for months or years between uses? By the time you pull them out, the soles might be even more slippery than you remember. If you need a dressier option, look for shoes with rubber soles or non-slip treads. Many brands now make elegant shoes designed for both style and safety, because looking good shouldn't mean risking a fall. Now, at this point, you might be thinking, okay, so what can I wear? And that's a great question. Because it's not just about avoiding certain shoes, it's about finding the right ones that keep you steady, supported, and confident on your feet. So, let's talk about what to look for in a safe shoe, because when you know what works, you can make choices that protect you every step of the way. By now, you're probably looking at your shoe rack in a whole new light, and that's a good thing. Because when it comes to preventing falls, knowledge really is power. And we're not done yet. There are still a couple more risky shoes you should know about, plus some simple tips to help you choose footwear that keeps you safe and steady. 7. Platform shoes and thick-soled styles, the balance challengers. Now, I know platform shoes might seem like a younger person's trend, but some comfortable walking shoes or orthopedic styles also come with thick, chunky soles. And while they might feel cushioned at first, that extra height can actually make it harder to sense the ground beneath you. Here's why that's a problem. As we age, our proprioception, that's our body's ability to sense movement and position, isn't as sharp as it used to be. A thick sole dulls that sense even more, making it easier to misjudge a step or lose your balance on uneven surfaces. Instead, look for shoes with a thin but supportive sole that lets you feel the ground, just enough cushion to protect your joints, but not so much that you're disconnected from your footing. 8. Loose or stretched out shoes, the hidden hazard. This one sneaks up on people. Maybe you've had a favorite pair of shoes for years that have stretched out over time, or perhaps you bought a size too big for comfort. But here's the thing, when shoes are too loose, your foot slides around inside them, forcing your toes to grip unconsciously with every step. That tiny adjustment throws off your natural stride and can lead to tripping or instability. A good test? Stand up and take a few steps. If your heel slips or your foot shifts noticeably inside the shoe, it's time for a better fit. Your shoes should hug your feet snugly, without pinching, and stay securely in place when you walk. Choosing the right shoes, what to look for. Now that we've covered what not to wear, let's talk about the features that make a shoe truly senior-friendly. Non-slip soles, look for rubber soles with deep treads or grooves for traction. Firm heel support, a sturdy back prevents wobbling and keeps your foot stable. Lightweight design, heavy shoes can make lifting your feet harder, leading to shuffling. Adjustable fit, laces, Velcro, or straps let you customize the snugness, especially if your feet swell. Low, wide heels, if you want a slight lift, go for a broad base, no more than an inch high. And here's a pro tip, shop for shoes later in the day when your feet are naturally a bit swollen, and always try them on with the socks you'll usually wear. That way, you'll get the truest fit. A final thought. Falls aren't just about being careful, they're about giving yourself the best possible foundation, literally from the ground up. And sometimes, the smallest changes, like swapping out those slippery slippers or retiring those worn-out sneakers, can make the biggest difference in keeping you safe and independent. So take a look at your shoes today. If any of them match the risky types we've talked about, consider it an act of self-care to replace them. Your future self will thank you every time you walk across a room with confidence. And hey, if you've had a close call with a pair of shoes or found a style that works great for you, share it in the comments below. Your experience could help someone else stay on their feet. Thanks for watching, and remember, aging might be inevitable, but falls don't have to be. Here's to many more years of steady steps and happy adventures. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more tips on living your best life at any age. See you next time.